For the Sacramento Kings, the momentum has been in their favor. They've incurred only one loss in the last 6 games, putting the rest of the league on alert. Timberwolves, Kings, coming up next. Don't go anywhere. Hello, fans. Welcome to this presentation of the NBA Sunday Night Action right here on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Greg Anthony and Coach Stan Van Gundy. And joining us from the sidelines is David Aldridge. And checking out Minnesota's opening lineup, Edwards on the wing. He's joined by McDaniels. Wingate is out there with Keefe. And it's prime time in at point. And for Sacramento, Reynolds is out there with John Morant. Then there's Walker Kessler. And it's Walsh in at the 3, the small forward. How many games do you need to play, Greg, before you know who you are as a team?
I think you basically know already your identity, the pace you want to play at, obviously the development of the younger guys, and your chemistry is always ongoing.
And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves getting the first points of the ballgame. Morant passes to Kessler. And Kessler throws it down.
And this is something Morant does well. His knack for knowing when to make that feed is impressive.
Prime time. Here's Wingate. And terrific work on the offensive glass, and he picks up 2.
Yeah, secures the ball off the glass. Does a nice job going right back up.
Morant outside. And there's the pass to Reynolds. Second chance shot. Great D that time from Edwards. Look at the last game for Sacramento. It was a win against the Rockets in Houston. Here's Keefe and blocked. That one goes careening off the glass. Morant right side. High arcing shot. That one misses. Nice D from Primetime. First 1:30 gone here in the first quarter. Missed inside. Here's Reynolds. One of the dependable scorers on the team. He's averaging close to 17 points a game. Pass to Kessler. No good on the shot. A bit long that time.
Really just struggling here in the first few minutes. 5 attempts with only 1 falling. Guys, that's just really unstoppable. He poses a ton of matchup problems for whomever he's facing.
Now here's Morant. One of the most consistent producers in the league. He's averaging around 25.5 points a game. Sacramento moving it around. 5 to shoot. Off target with his 3. The Timberwolves have gone 50% from the field, hitting 3 of 6 since the opening tip. Here's Primetime, guarded by Morant. Primetime's shot is good. The Kings trail by 7. So the Kings call timeout. They're first.
And Coach can't like what he's seeing, trying to get them refocused.
Yeah, you have to take a timeout in a situation like this. Stop the bleeding a bit and regroup.
Make some noise!
Let's take a peek at the league's assist leaders. You look at Primetime, an uncommonly gifted passer, leading the league in assists.
It's hard to argue with his status as the best passer in the NBA right now. He just distributes the ball so well.
Here's Walsh. McDaniels defending. Morant outside. Clock at 6.
Timberwolves foul. Wingate. First personal foul. First team foul.
Now about 3 minutes gone in the first quarter. To end the drought, he gets it in there.
And how about the catch and fire there from Morant? He's got the endless confidence in his abilities.
You can see, and Coach, you can feel John Morant's star power, and his presence on the floor is such a factor. It affects the game.
Yeah, it sure does, and it even affects the energy in the building. His play is so dynamic, athletic, energetic. I mean, you can't sit and watch a Ja game. He's going to get you on your feet.
He is one of a kind for sure. Here's primetime, following the basket by John Morant. Here's primetime, bangs home the trifecta. Primetime's got 8 points.
Well, maybe not the shot they were looking for there, but the defense gave it to him, and he knocked it down.
Passes it to Walsh. There's Morant. Lets it go from deep, and the three ball is good. He's got 7.
Well, he's been very efficient in this quarter. Keep getting him the ball.
From downtown, and it's prime time missing. The Kings trail by 3. Here's Reynolds. He had 25 points last game. There's the triple. The shot missing.
Well, that's a shot the defense felt like they could live with, and it worked out for them that time.
Here's primetime. 8 points for him. It's hauled in by Stewart.
Yeah, not his best night in terms of shot selection. Lucky for him, his teammates have picked up the slack.
Pass to Reynolds. From the line, and good, as it just snugs right down through the net.
And that's definitely a shot that he has in his arsenal.
Here's primetime, guarded by Morant. Primetime's shot is good.
Well, his offense is carrying them right now, and even with the defense keying on him, he's making great adjustments on the fly.
Morant outside. Count that as his 4th basket of the night. Just 7 shots to get there.
And no problem for Morant that close to the hoop. Once he gets inside, he makes it look easy.
So the Timberwolves call their first timeout. And guys, this is the first they're seeing of Sacramento.
Yeah, some history here, though. Of course, they won that first-round series in last year's playoffs and ended up sending them packing.
For your 9-1-6.
Here we are in November. Let's see how things are shaking out in the West early in the season. You look at Minnesota. They've got the #1 record in the conference, and because of it, each night out, their competition is going to bring it right at them. And, of course, the Kings, 2 spots down.
Well, I think for Minnesota,
They've been on a tremendous run this season. All the pieces were in place coming into the year, and they haven't missed a beat. Great chemistry, great coaching, and potential to do some great things in the postseason.
Yeah, no one is taking them lightly. This is a team with everything you really need to make some noise in the playoffs.
So for the Timberwolves, their last game, a win against Los Angeles.
And bottom line, they found ways to score. Credit the game plan going in. It was right on the money.
Yeah, that kind of performance on the road really speaks to their preparation and mental fortitude.
And denied, he sends it right off the glass. Here's Reynolds. Edwards defending. Reynolds passes to Walsh. Here's Reynolds, one of the dependable scorers on the team. He's averaging close to 17 points a game. Stolen. Here's primetime to the paint. Keefe's shot is good.
Unselfish basketball. That's what coaches love to see.
The Kings trail by 3. Morant looking around. The pass to Stewart. The fader. Primetime grabs the board.
And the defense gave him no space. He had to fade back. That's not an easy look for most guys.
Here's primetime. He's coming off a 37-point game against the Clippers in Los Angeles.
Well, you can't say enough about what he did on defense. 3 blocks and made those shooters very uncomfortable.
Edwards can't hit.
And he didn't punish them for the weak coverage there, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
Here's Reynolds. Edwards defending. Here's Morant. Again, the miss by the Kings.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Here's prime time. He's covered by Kessler. And he hits it from deep. 3 points there from prime time. And it's a 6-point Minnesota lead.
Well, they just need to keep getting him the ball. He has been terrific.
Kings with the timeout.
Timeout called by the Kings. Coming into this, having notched a win against the Rockets in their last game.
Yeah, they were able to maintain focus in a hostile environment, and that led to taking shots that made sense.
Well, and it's one thing to get the shot you want. It's another to make them. They've got good scorers on this team.
Lineup here for the Timberwolves. Kessler finds Stewart. Some nice ball movement here by the Kings. It's Morant in the corner. And Morant throws it down.
Now, this is how athletic Morant is, a point guard who possesses incredible athleticism.
And so in the game for the Timberwolves, Keith is out there with Murray. Then there's Emmanuel quickly. Then there's McDaniels. And it's prime time and at the point. Here's prime time. 13 points in the game. Drills it from outside.
And guys, he's been a one-man air raid coming at them time and time again.
Well, what I love about his three-point shooting is the spacing that he's adding. It makes things a lot easier for everyone else.
With a short break in the action, gives us a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin. Well, prime time in the last game against Los Angeles was a man on a mission. He added 37 points, and what a game it was, posting a triple-double. Put on a show. Numbers like that are sure to get attention around the league, and everyone's excited to see what he does tonight. Guys?
Thanks, David. Greg, it was obvious. He was having a lot of fun out there. Tremendous victory.
I'll tell you, he may have been enjoying himself, but whoever was matched up against him certainly wasn't.
Yeah, well, winning is usually fun, especially when you have it going like he did.
Wingate is checked in for the Timberwolves.
Now into the lineup for the Timberwolves, Wingate.
Morant passes to Walsh. Here's the three. And it's Morant missing. Timberwolves have gone 1 of 3 to start out the second quarter. Pass to quickly. Here's prime time. Guarded by Morant. Yep, that one goes. And that's 18 points for prime time.
Yeah, and a good job to find a quality shot in tight. That should be the goal every trip down the court.
To the middle. Here's Stewart. The rebound by the Timberwolves. And when this game is done with, they'll be off to Los Angeles, taking on the Lakers. They're in the midst of a 4-game road trip right now. That'll be game number 3.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
Morant left side. And again, unable to change momentum here. Timberwolves leading by 5. And man, is this team on a roll right now offensively, Greg. So fun to watch.
They're playing with so much confidence, which is why they're tearing it up on this end.
Prime time. Score of the basket is 8 for 13 from the floor.
The Kings
He's getting him the ball. He's been a huge part of this offense.
Timeout called by the Kings. And as a coach, what were some of your favorite parts, Stan, of life on the road?
Well, Kevin, you get treated really well on the road in the NBA. I mean, you travel on great charters. People take care of your bags. You stay in great hotels. But my favorite part of being on the road was when we were on our way home. Easier to win at home, family at home. That was the favorite part of it.
How about the bonding experience a lot of coaches talk about when you're out there kind of alone against the forces, just you and your team?
Well, I definitely think players bond on trips like that because They're not going in different directions. They team to spend time together. I don't think any of them ever wanted to spend time with me.
And with that basket, he's able to end a 10-0 run by Minnesota.
Passes it to Wingate. Stolen by Kessler. They push it up 4 on 3. Reynolds can't hit.
And the stroke definitely lacking confidence this quarter. Nothing on target.
Pass to Primetime. Fires the 3. And it's good. That bucket takes him to 9 for 14.
Yeah, and their shooting really starting to pick up here in the second.
Here's Reynolds. And the pass to Walsh. And here's Morant. Just 5 to shoot. It's blocked. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. Timberwolves leading by 8. Here's Primetime. 23 points in the game. Chalk up 2 there.
Look, if I'm one of his teammates, I just keep getting him the ball. He has been lights out.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Here's Reynolds. Primetime grabs the board. Primetime's got 6 rebounds here tonight.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well. They just won't miss. I mean, this is incredible.
Well, as a coach, this is when you enjoy what you're watching. Your team playing well and everything just flowing.
Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
Pass to Keith. Knocked away. Stewart passes to Walsh to end the run. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. Primetime's got 9 rebounds in the game. Getting it done. Passes to Keith.
Right there.
Here's Primetime. Guarded by Morant. 4 on the clock. The Timberwolves need to get a shot off here. A nice shot by McDaniel.
And that's one way to extend the lead. Continue to light it up from long range. They have all the confidence in the world right now from a three-point line.
Now here's Morant. He had 25 points in the win against the Rockets in Houston.
Yeah, and how about his assist numbers, too? He was their offense. He was just doing everything out there.
And Stewart gets it to go.
As a passer, Morant has developed great instincts, and he's going to exploit those gaps in the D.
Keith passes to Primetime. Pass to Wingate. Here's Primetime. Over to the left wing. McDaniels nailed from three-point land. McDaniels got 6 here in this quarter.
And they're right around 50% for the game on their threes, and they've only gotten better as the game's gone on.
Now Morant. Keith grabs the miss. Keith's got 4 rebounds in this game.
Well, they've been better than good on the glass today, and there is a glaring discrepancy between these two teams in that area. I'm sorry, that's poor defense down low again. It's been a mismatch thus far in the paint.
And Sacramento has possession following the bucket by the Timberwolves.
Minnesota foul. Keith. First personal foul. Third team.
Let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the Timberwolves.
Well, the thing about hitting early threes, it spaces the floor and makes things a lot easier offensively.
Also, they're getting into the teeth of the defense. Points in the paint, something coaches always love to see.
First free throw is good. You know, Stan, it sometimes seems that coaches get themselves ejected on purpose to fire up their team. Am I on the right track there or not?
Well, Kevin, certainly it happens with some guys. There have certainly been guys, Jerry Sloan, Don Nelson, who would do some of that.
How about you?
Now, Kevin, you know me. All I always ever tried to do was help the referees because we all just want to get to the right call, and I could help them in that way.
Yeah, you did all the time.
As much as I could, but they were not receptive.
So it's the Minnesota Timberwolves with a 19-point advantage heading into the next quarter. And with as many three-pointers as they've drained, it's easy to see why they're on the cusp of a blowout. Back right after this. Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. Really an incredible game from primetime.
Well, with a double-double in hand through 2 quarters, you can just imagine what his stat line will look like at the end of this one.
Well, he's already put in a full day's work. They might want to lighten the load on him in the second half.
They've got Ja Morant, also Reynolds out there. And it's Kessler in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's the group starting the second half for Tyronn Lue. And the call will be against primetime.
Number 19.
That'll be his second foul of the game.
Personal foul. First team foul.
The pass to Walsh. And here's Stewart. Right wing. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Reynolds. And he uses the glass on the layup.
Well, it doesn't get any easier than this. They'll take these shots every time.
Minnesota leading by 20. Inside. Here's Edwards. Nice pass. Run into the rack perfectly for the layup. Edwards got 5 points so far. Now, here's Morant for 3. Minnesota with the rebound.
And they need his offense right now. But his shot is just not falling.
Greg, with how explosive Ja Morant is, he has certainly taken his fair share of awkward falls.
And that's what worries you with guys like that. He's already had a number of injuries in his young career, but we all just want to see him at full health.
Right now, let's send it over to the sidelines and get a report from David Aldridge.
Kevin, thanks. Ja Morant was the first NBA guard in a quarter century to lead the league in points in the paint. He says, I can't just rely on dunking every single play, so I need different types of finishes to get my shot off, whether it's high off the glass, the reverse, or hanging in the air forever. And Kevin, he just says it so casually. Back to you.
I know it. But David, he doesn't do it casually, right? He is a one-man circus. Pass to Reynolds. And once again, off the mark by Sacramento. For Minnesota, they've gotten 4 of their first 5 second-half shots to fall. 80% since the break.
Well, once Edwards saw his opening, it was game over. He delights in sticking it to you like this.
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Prime time, the pass to McDaniels. 2 points. That one goes. He's got 8.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
For Sacramento, they've gone only 1 of 6 in the field in the third quarter. Not how they pictured the half started. Now a timeout called by Sacramento.
And the lack of rim protection, top of the list.
Well, if you're just going to let them score inside at will, you might as well pack your bags.
And with the chance, let's take a look now at the numbers for prime time. First in assists, and he's first in the league in steals per game. Just an incredibly aggressive and tenacious defender.
And his scoring abilities are just so far out of sight. Number 1 overall right now. No one's been able to slow him down or even come close. Morant outside. Pass to Walsh. Shot clock at 6. Morant outside. They need this one. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. Stan, I've always admired you. Come from a coaching family. Was there a point growing up you knew you wanted to be a coach?
Yeah, I loved being around the game, and so 2 things happened that drove me into coaching. Number 1, I loved baseball, and I couldn't hit one, so that was out. And I wasn't a good enough basketball player to go on that way, so if I wanted to stay involved in the game, that's when I knew I wanted to be a coach.
But your dad had a little bit of that in his background. I say in a little kind of tongue-in-cheek, right? He was a guy that led the way in your interest there.
Yeah, my dad coached for over 40 years, and I think he had a great passion.
That is a great finish!
Oh, my.
And that's impressive. Morant's ball control and take charge attitude is what makes him so special.
And on the AT&T 5G Slam Cam, you can see how impressive that move was.
Number 19.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
Pass to Morant. Got a piece of it. McDaniels with the ball. He's got 8. And that's good. A nice job in the glass as they pick up 2 on the second effort. And a moment here to take a look at some of the hustle stats for the Timberwolves.
Well, I love how connected they've been defensively. They're right into shooters and piling up block shots.
That's been all night long. And also dominating the offensive boards, and that's been winning them a lot of extra looks at the hoop.
Here's Keith and the dunk to finish it off. Beauty.
Looking to make plays for others. We've seen this from him all night.
Yeah, when there's been an open man, he's found him. And you love to see a guy dishing it like this.
And play stops. Whistle on what looks to be an illegal screen.
Beyond the leaning, you could see his feet weren't set on that screen. Easy call.
Look, you can get away with a lot in terms of screens today. You can't make it that obvious.
And his performance today, guys, is really, I think, a beauty. A triple-double for him today.
Reynolds passes to Stewart. Can't cash in from close range. Minnesota's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Another possession, another assist.
That makes 15 assists.
He's been 1 step ahead of the defense all game long. Up top, Morant. He's got 19, and it's in there. Morant's got 21.
And you want to prevent Ja from driving to the rim, but you got to also contest him at the mid-range and just hope it doesn't go in.
Here's prime time, guarded by Morant. Back to Edwards. Fires from deep. That's good. He's 5 for 9.
Well, that's his first 3 here in the second half. Got to think he'd like a few more of those.
Here's Morant, and it's blocked. Here's prime time. He's covered by Kessler. And the whistle blows as the basket counts and a 3-point play chance right here. 1 free throw coming up. Sacramento making some changes. Bones Highland is checked in for Reynolds. And it's Carter in for Morant. Minnesota also with the sub. Quickly is checked in. That free throw good from Wingate. And it seems a new era is upon us, GA. A lot of young stars and young teams vying for the status of household names.
Kevin, the casual fans might have to update their frame of reference, right? Especially since a lot of these new stars are playing in smaller markets.
Well, it's a 3-point shooting league. Guys like him are so important for spacing.
And down it goes. Dunked through off a wonderful assist.
For a center, he's maybe undersized, but his ability to get in the air to make a play balances that out.
Here's Carter. It's rebounded by Quickly. Minnesota's gone 2 of 3 when they ventured outside the arc in the third quarter. Keith. And it's Sacramento with the rebound. Stewart's got his 6th rebound on the night. Here's Walsh. Edwards defending. And it's Highland in the corner. Off target from three-point range. Minnesota shooting a tremendous 61% from the floor, hitting in all cylinders. Here's Carter, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. First trip to the free throw line for him in this one. The first one falls, so it's both teams making substitutions here.
Substituting on the court.
So on the floor for Minnesota, Murray out there with Walton. Then there's McDaniels, and it's prime time. And it's Quickly in at the 2-guard spot.
Look, in that first half, he was hot from beyond the arc, and that's now his 2nd in this half.
Now the pass to Highland. Feeds it to Robinson. He's off on that one. Murray with the defensive effort. Pass to McDaniels. Here's prime time. And the league trying to get a bit more competition in the All-Star game. Greg, you got any ideas there?
Well, cash prizes seem to work well for the in-season tournament. Even a little something might help up the ante just a bit.
Now here's Morant. He's guarded closely.
Jaden McDaniels.
And a quick look at how the Minnesota Timberwolves schedule is shaping up. On Tuesday, they'll be playing the Lakers in Los Angeles. And then on Thursday, they'll go up against the Spurs in San Antonio. That's good from Morant.
And it's hard to pick a more electrifying player in the league than Ja Morant. He explodes off the floor.
Morris checked in for Carter.
Well, he might have been a little passive in the first half, but that's changed. I like this more aggressive approach.
McDaniels passes to prime time. He feeds it to Murray. And another assist. And that's his 20th assist. Wow.
Just doing a great job at orchestrating the offense.
Morant outside. And once again off the mark by Sacramento. Timberwolves shooting in the fourth quarter has been efficient at 56%. Stolen by Robinson. Moore against McDaniel. Here's Aldama. No good on the 3. Minnesota shooting a smooth 58% from the field. Everything going according to plan for them on that end.
Walton.
And the basket by Walton.
Offensively, defensively, they are in total control.
Absolutely. They're playing their game and executing at a real high level. Everything is working for them right now.
Ooh, just powered it down with both hands. You know he's not going to mess that one up.
Oh, no, not this fella. He is a superb finisher. And the basket by Walton.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
Quickly against Highland. Moore outside. Highland deciding where to go with it. And there's the whistle. Illegal screen.
In the second half, they haven't taken care of the basketball. Simply put, more turnovers now that could hurt them later.
And the Kings making a change here. Walsh is checked in. Minnesota also with the sub. Andrew Nembhard's checked in for Quickly. And for Sacramento, they're shooting a low 30% right now. An ugly offensive performance. Rejected by Murray. Passes it to primetime. And the basket is good. And now that's 35 points for primetime.
And that's just cold-blooded right there. He's taking no prisoners.
Yeah, he's leaving no doubt in this one. Doing everything he can to slam the door on a comeback.
And the league clearly focused on making regular season games matter. Right? You think more steps are coming?
Well, let's give the league credit because they've left no stone unturned. The play-in, the in-season tournament, the 65 games rule, all implemented with that in mind.
The Timberwolves making a switch here.
Substituting on the court at the line for your Kings, Stewart, shooting 1.
And Stewart, no good on that one. It's been all Timberwolves. About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. Here's Nembhard. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
Taking no chances. They go on one last run to seal the deal.
Yeah, this run has poured a bucket of water on any ember of a potential comeback.
How about the handles from the young fella? Give Morant credit for taking the initiative and capitalizing.
Here's primetime. This one for 3. Misses. And so it's the Timberwolves taking care of business here.
That's the end
This
of the
one
game.
was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look really easy. What an efficient performance at both ends.
And that about wraps it up. So for Stan Van Gundy, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, I'm Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. So long and good night, everyone.